Ag AM in Kansas is brought to you in part by Sure Crop, liquid crop nutrition delivered right to your farm.
Good morning and welcome to Farm Factor on Ag AM in Kansas. I'm your host, Conrad Cabus. There are many representatives in Washington, D.C. fighting for farmers, and at the Kansas Farm Bureau Young Farmers and Ranchers Conference, agriculture representatives educated young producers.
So I'm very thankful to the Kansas Farm Bureau for being invited to come speak about these issues. It's very important, and essentially the main point of the presentation that I wanted to make is that it's incredibly important for farmers and ranchers to talk about what they do. They're our most trusted communicators when it comes to food and agriculture issues. People truly are interested in learning more about where their food comes from. And instead of somebody else talking about what a farmer does, it's better the farmer be able to tell his and her story so that people understand how their food is grown, where it comes from, and eventually how it gets to their plate.
There are many ludicrous assumptions about agriculture that seem to be amusing to farm families, but are confusing to consumers.
In terms of what we've done in the past, we've learned a very hard lesson that we can't start with the facts, the science. We have to engage the individual first. And so the first way to do that is just to listen. It's important to listen to people, and especially those who may have concerns about food and agriculture. Listen to them. Food is a very emotional conversation, and so that makes it tough for us to be able to engage. So acknowledge those concerns and talk to the public, at the level they are. And so before we launch into facts and science, it's important to establish the fact that we have a lot of common ground, a lot of common goals. We care about affordable food, we care about the environment. And so establishing those values first is a really important thing to do before we start talking about studies and about facts. We have to engage the individual so that they trust us as messengers.
Genetically modified organisms are a major topic of discussion today. Across our society, media, and the internet, a growing number of people have shared a wide range of questions and emotions on the topic, ranging from excitement and optimism to skepticism and even fear.
People are really interested in food and agriculture, but there's a lot of misinformation out there in media and social media. So when it comes to GMOs, a lot of people think if it's kind of misshapen, if it tastes funny, if it smells a bit weird, it must be a GMO. Some people just equate processed foods with GMOs, or that fast food is GMOs. Again, a lot of misunderstanding. And so that's why it's important to, again, just provide basic information and engage with consumers to help them understand the basics of food and agriculture.
Jennifer Schmidt lives on a family farm with grains, vegetables, hay, and wine in Maryland. She provided an article on her blog about labeling.
So I think one of the most effective messages we've had in terms of the labeling debate was from Jenny Schmidt. Jenny is a registered dietitian. She's a farmer in Maryland, and she has this wonderful page where she has a great blog, and she wrote this one piece about the impact of what labeling could have on her farm in terms of production, segregation, how much that cost, and it really brought to light how our infrastructure is across the U.S. and how a patchwork of labeling systems would negatively impact farmers as well as retailers and essentially consumers, pocketbooks as well. That was really effective because it came from personal experience. Another example is on the GMO Answers website, we've received a number of questions related to GMOs and health concerns. And one of them was about GMOs and autism. And one of our experts, Dr. Bruce Chassey, I think developed a wonderful answer because he talked about, from a very personal angle, his experience with his grandson who's autistic and what that meant to him. Before we got to the science at the bottom of the answer, establishing the fact that this is something we understand and we are concerned about. We're right there with you. And then provide information, that would sort of hopefully help answer the question about, that there is no link between GMOs and autism.
In the future, Kate and other producers hope to see agriculture advocacy with farmers around the state to help spread the message.
So, for the next 5 years, we hope to see continued progress. We've seen a tremendous community develop around food and agriculture, science, critical thinking. We hope to see that continue. Many farmers have become advocates, understanding their importance of their presence in this conversation, and hope that every single person at this event walks out being an advocate as well. And I think that sets us up for continued progress and puts us in a really good position, over the next 5 years.
Thank you for watching this episode over the Kansas Farm Bureau Young Farmers and Ranchers Conference in Manhattan, Kansas. For more of Farm Factor, or if you want to view this program again, visit us on www.agaminkansas.com, or you can like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter. So have a good day with good luck.
Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff Progress, powered by Kansas farmers.